Hello, what's going on, people? Welcome back to the channel Football Therapy with me, your host, Jan. I hope you're doing well, mate. I really do hope that the morning after the farcical display of refereeing in Chelsea's 2-2 draw against Tottenham at Stamford Bridge, but lots is popping off in today's news. So welcome back to Chelsea News, of course, the daily series here on the channel where I reflect on what's being said about the Blues, giving you my opinion on it. But baby girl, more importantly, asking for yours. Anthony Gordon, look, amazing young player. Everton's young scouse, Lampard's Mount 2.0 protege. Why are we bidding on Anthony Gordon? Is he the answer? What's the question? What the hell is going on? Aubameyang, is he coming? And of course, there's updates on Michael Edwards, the sporting director. Settle in, get comfortable. I appreciate all of you who like the video. It's a good way of showing support of the channel. Let's see if we can get over 3,000 likes. It's a decent amount, and we can do it together, you and I. Subscribe if you want to, but should you choose to do so, you gotta hit that sweet, sweet boo, boo, boo. Oh, a quick word for yesterday's game. A few jars after I watched it. I didn't see the hair pull, actually, from when I watched it until after the game. Of course, farcical. So therefore, the winner shouldn't have stood. The first goal shouldn't have stood because of even if the Kai Havertz foul was in a previous phase of play, Richarlison was in an offside position going for the ball. So it's a load of bollocks. So it is what it is. Let's not ruminate. Second game in the season. We played well. We played better than Tottenham. Common consensus, Chelsea were the better team in that game. And that's really all I could ask for, because competence from referees, especially from Anthony Taylor, isn't something you can apparently ask for. So that's that. Thomas Tuchel, even from before the game, was saying nah, it's nonsense, the Anthony Taylor hoodoo. And after the game, he was like, yeah, this is bollocks. Anyway, we move. Let's talk about Chelsea news. We're going to start with Michael Edwards, the sporting director that Chelsea have approached to become their sporting director. He's ruled out the Chelsea job for now. I'm going to read this from David Ornstein's column on The Athletic. Strap yourselves in and listen to this. Michael Edwards rules out Chelsea job. Chelsea maintain their unbeaten run under the new ownership with a dramatic 2-2 draw against visitors Tottenham Hotspur on Sunday, but the work of the co-owner Todd Boehly and his consortium is still in its formative stages. Truth. Because apparently we're making bids for Anthony Gordon. More on that in a moment. The West London club have been extremely busy in the summer transfer market, something which is sure to continue until the window shuts on September the 1st. And they are also aiming to install a permanent sporting director. Let me just drink my coffee quickly while I think about this. This is important that it's weird. I mean, we've been discussing it here on the channel for a while about Chelsea's intention to get a sporting director. You got people like Gary Neville going, look, he's running around making himself, sporting director. I saw Rory Jennings on the kickoff making a similar criticism. When no, they have every intention of getting a sporting director, something they've maintained prior to even buying Chelsea, prior to sealing ownership. That was always the intention, because they want that Liverpool model, but they couldn't install one immediately. Therefore, Boehly's the interim sporting director. That position is currently the responsibility of Boehly himself, but only in a temporary capacity. Well, there you go. Once player trading comes to a close in just over 2 weeks, Chelsea are set to focus on making a full-time appointment. It's been well documented that Michael Edwards was a leading target of the Stamford Bridge hierarchy, the Englishman having decided to leave his post with Liverpool after more than a decade. But if Edwards had emerged as a top candidate for Chelsea's perspective, or they had emerged they are going to need to look elsewhere, because the Athletic has learned he has turned down the potential opportunity. It is believed that Edwards, who joined Liverpool in 2011 following 2 years at Tottenham, and he was previously in the EFL before that in Portsmouth, he informed Chelsea in recent weeks of his intention to take some time out away from football, so stepping into such a role is not on his agenda for now. Chelsea's process, consequently, is ongoing, and the fact how several possible options for the job will currently be employed elsewhere and heavily occupied with those clubs' recruitment activity adds the notion that nobody is likely to arrive before the end of the month. Well, that was never going to happen anyway. I don't think Chelsea were ever going to get a sporting director in for this window. Hence, Bowley being the interim, jumping all over the gaff. It is important that Chelsea get a good candidate. You know, Luis Campos is now at Paris Saint-Germain. I think he probably would have been a good candidate. But we'll have to see who crops up. Among the situations that require clarity at Chelsea is the future of Armando Broja. The 20-year-old striker, developed with their academy, is now wanted by Premier League sides, including West Ham, give us Declan Rice, and Everton. Apparently we won Gordon. The England-born Albania international, of course, spent last season on loan at Southampton, has been linked with a move away, either temporary or permanent. However, it's thought Chelsea would like Bria to sign a new contract, and talks to improve his existing one, which expires after the 2025-26 season. So he's actually got a few years left on his deal, so he's locked down. There's no risk of losing him should we not want to sell him. Bruja, what do you think? Let's move on. Look, there's one thing that Chelsea's performance against... look, I don't want to dig out the front three against Tottenham, because I think they're pretty good. You know, Mount's been solidly consistent for Chelsea. Havertz is a great talent. I don't think he played badly yesterday, even if he wasn't too effective at times. And of course, Raheem Sterling looks like he fits the profile precisely. Getting the assist for Reece James, of course, for what should have been a winner. But Chelsea need to score goals. Chelsea will remain to be linked with forwards, and the rumblings this morning through news and podcasts and things I'm listening to, the Aubameyang story is gaining traction. And in fact, there's stories saying that Aubameyang is now moving. This is the most professional footballer coming from Barcelona headline ever, but he's moving money into English banks. Does that mean he's coming to Chelsea? Of course, Thomas Tuchel has waxed lyrical about his previous striker, Alba. He has played down Aubameyang's, reported troublesome behaviour in the dressing room that, of course, people have talked about from his Arsenal days. I also did hear it at Dortmund as well. Well, I guess when Tuchel wasn't the manager, he did get some time. He got a suspension for going to a fashion show or something. But Tuchel maintains he's always behaved really well underneath him, and he's got a great relationship with him. And he said something like, certain players in life or as a manager will always remain your players. And Abba, or Abba, whatever he calls him, is one of those players. He's got a great relationship with the Senegalese striker. Of course, he's 33 years old. Short-term solution, but it does seem like that story's gaining traction. And, of course, Barcelona wanting to make sales. The fact that Marcos Alonso hasn't been announced yet to Barcelona, when Tuchel has spoken publicly in presses he's trying to complete his move to Barcelona. He's not even fronting now. He's like, yeah, we got Cucurella and Chilwell. Alonso's trying to go to Barcelona. So maybe, again, this is full speculation, maybe there's a deal to be done there. Aubameyang, Alonso, player swap, cash, blah, 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 blah. Who knows? It could happen. But let's talk about the big eyebrow raiser that surfaced late evening last night and talk about Anthony Gordon. At Jacobs Ben, of course, Ben Jacobs, tweeting this. Everton value Anthony Gordon at £50 million, the same amount they sold Richarlison for. And were clear with Spurs and Newcastle that they wouldn't entertain a sale unless that valuation was met. Chelsea's £40 million bid has been rejected. Chelsea are considering their next move. He does say more, but pause. What? I mean, I'm all for Chelsea moving in the dark, cloak and dagger and all that, and not having Jadon Sancho and De Jong sagas like Man United do. But, sneak up on me with I don't know, a wicked player. Look, man, let's get this early doors. Gordon is a special talent. I said it last season. Lampard obviously saw it straight away, and Lampard can see very talented youngsters. Reece James, Mason Mount. Do you know what I mean? He deserves props for that. So this is not, I'm not going to dig out Anthony Gordon at all. Very, very talented young attacker. But he's not really a goal scorer. He's just like a sort of, he's a direct, I guess, sort of ball-playing, point-and-squirt, high-octane young forward. Is that what we want? Again, I defer to Tuchel's superior football knowledge over mine. If Thomas Tuchel has said, "Oh, get me Anthony Gordon, please," then fair play. And, Lampard won't thank him for that, probably. But, I mean, where's this come from, man? £40 million bid reject. I mean, look, so what? We do get two attackers, Aubameyang and Anthony Gordon. Anthony Gordon's played down the middle for Frank Lampard the last 2 games, and he struggled because he's not a striker. What are we doing? Where are we? Who are we? 2 defenders scored for us yesterday. Again, a centre-back and a wing-back. Oh, I just don't even know what to say. Anthony Gordon, have your say down below. Is it mental? Are we going to pay more? Are we going to pay £50 million for Anthony Gordon? Are we through the looking glass now? I mean, we played pretty well yesterday. Maybe Anthony Gordon's the difference. What do I know? Let's read on the thread in Ben Jacobs' tweet here and see the other updates from him relating to Chelsea Football Club. Everton are keen on Armando Bria, but told it's unlikely he'll be offered as part of any permanent deal at this stage. Of course, the aforementioned Bria from Ornstein's column, Chelsea are reluctant to sell, and even if Aubameyang arrives, would prefer to loan him out. Bria is still undecided whether he's prepared to go on loan again. He does have a few years left on his contract, like we said before. Lampard also really likes Billy Gilmour, but has signed Amadou Onana and is still hoping for Idrissa Gueye. Michy Batshuayi is another name that may be open to swap deal occurs. Michy Batshuayi. I don't think Lamps ever particularly liked Batshuayi at Chelsea. He did try him, but I can't imagine he sees him as like a great option. Although he just wants a striker, maybe he sees him as just a striker, and that's all he cares about. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, Billy Gilmour was like Billy Esther under Frank Lampard, so you could understand why he might want to negotiate a deal to get Billy at Everton. But do we want to try everything to get Anthony Gordon? Lampard doesn't currently want to enter the race alongside Celtic for Ross Barkley. Despite considering him earlier in the window, of course, with Ross Barkley unarchiving all his old Everton-related posts, which he had archived on Instagram. He got them out of the attic and put them back on his page. Excuse me. Everyone thought, oh, well, that's it then. He's going back to Everton. This has been the case for a number of weeks now, even before Everton brought in other midfielders. So it doesn't look like they'll be going in for Ross the boss, pre-season Zidane, Barkley. The other point to make, if it becomes apparent Everton will sell, a change of stance. Don't rule out Newcastle making a real push again. So I guess that's for Anthony Gordon. They were put off by the valuation and Everton dismissive of their bid. But Eddie Howe and Dan Ashworth really like Gordon. Thank you, Gordon, said in the voice of Francis Bourgeois, the train spotter. Whoa. Good impression that, isn't it? Look, if Dan Ashworth, once of Brighton, now of Newcastle, he's like a good sporting director or whatever role he plays. If he likes Anthony Gordon, there's probably something there. Look, we all have, he passes the eye test. I watched him last season and tweeted about that kid looks like a player. But you do that all the time about certain footballers in the league and stuff. It doesn't mean Chelsea should sign him. Do you know what I mean? Like, I really want to hear what you guys think about this, because for me, it just seems wild. Maybe he's the answer. Maybe Hudson-Odoi goes, Ziyech goes, but these are quality players. And so I guess it's Gordon is as well, but 50 million, what are we doing? What are we doing? I defer to Tuchel and you gentlemen and ladies watching this YouTube channel. So let me know what you think. Comment down below on Aubameyang, on Gordon, on Anthony Taylor if you fancy it. But the quicker we let go of that and move on, the better for all our collective health. Michael Edwards, sporting director, etc., etc., etc. Thank you for dropping a like. So you can get 3,000. That would be nice. Subscribe if you're new. Hit the sweet bell. Keep it locked, ladies and gentlemen, because stuff is generally popping off. It's a wild situation. I'll see you very soon back here on Football Therapy. Peace.